receiving group is kind of coming together in spring?
I feel like we came a long way because like last year people were saying we was young and stuff, but I feel like in this short amount of time, like we've matured. Like everybody's making plays. Like it's not really a guy. Like everybody's a guy. We can all make plays. We can all run with the ones or whatever. So I just feel like we came a long way and we all maturing.
Where was the area that y'all felt like you needed to kind of grow and get better the most?
Just like the mental aspect of it. Like if someone makes a mistake and they get down on themselves or like their focus isn't really there all the time, just the mental. Because like everybody looks good or everybody does something good physically. So that wasn't really the problem. It was more like mental.
Josh had a pretty good run towards the end of last year. What have you seen from him in spring ball? Has he really stepped up as a leader?
He stepped up as a leader. He's really vocal. I mean, and he just does everything right. He's not a guy that is ever in trouble. He gets good grades. He does what he does on the field. So it's like he really does nothing wrong, and you can't really be mad at that. He's just a great guy.
I know you dealt with some injury last year. There was some head stuff. We were never really quite sure exactly what it was. What was that frustrating for you? And what was really the issue that kind of sidelined you for 2 games?
It was kind of frustrating, but I had a concussion in week 2, and then after that it was just hamstrings because I had injured my hamstring in the spring, and then it just kept lingering, and then towards the end of the season I was fine, but it wasn't great all season.
What do you feel like you need to work on to take your game to that next level? Maybe it's just staying healthy.
I would just say staying healthy because I feel like if I would have finished every game, I would have had a way better season than when I did. So it's really just like that, and maybe like gain 10 pounds or 5 pounds, something like that.
So far, what have you seen out of Blake and Sawyer?
Blake and Sawyer, they both look good, in my opinion. They look amazing. They both throw the ball. They can both run. So, to me, it really doesn't matter who's throwing me the ball because they're both pretty. I can't even tell sometimes who throws the ball.
You also, would sometimes get used in the running game, just end arounds and different things. How much do you enjoy that, embrace that?
I enjoy it because it's different. I just don't get to run around all the time. Sometimes I can get the ball, and I like following the tight end sometimes because sometimes it just opens up and then it's just a free touchdown. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of going off that, everybody always talks about your speed. Is that something you can continue to work on, take it to the next level?
Yes. Our PT, Natalie, she helps me keep my hamstrings right. So that's all I do. Like every other day that we don't have practice, I go in there and I do a little hamstring work so maybe I can get stronger and faster.
What have you noticed from, am I saying correctly, Ketron?
Keytron?
Keytron.
Oh,
What have you noticed from Keytron?
Keytron, he looks great. He's probably one of the best route runners I've ever seen. And he just came in as an older guy. He's mature. He does everything right. He's fast, big, strong. So, he really has everything in his bag.
What's that do for your room when you can bring in a transfer that he has some SEC experience and is already kind of a guy that has some big game experience?
I would say it's great because we can get other people's point of views that's like outside of here. Because before, the whole receiver room is like my class, so we kind of all on the same page. But when Keytron came in, we can get his point of view on things, and he can teach us some things, we can teach him some things. So I feel like it helps us out a lot.
I saw you kind of working with, I'm not sure who it was, but it looked like you were showing someone some footwork stuff earlier in the practice today. Do you feel like you're taking on that leadership role with some of those things?
I try to because Coach Bate can't do everything. He can't talk to everybody. So I just try to pull people to the side and say, hey, this is what he really means. This is what he wants you to do. If you do this better, this will help you out.
Monaray, how much does it help, since you mentioned Coach Baker, how much does it help having a guy for another year? It seemed like y'all were just going through one receivers coach after the next.
Coach Baker has been great to us. He's probably the best thing that's happened to the receivers since we've been here because Coach Baker, he really cares. He could care less about the football. He really cares for us as a person. I would say he's my friend. I don't really see him as a coach. It may be bad, but I just think we're so close and he's really great to us.
Josh, you did sort of come along more maybe at the end of the year. What do you kind of feel like you turned a corner a little bit?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. Just stepping up, just knowing my role with the offense, and just really getting comfortable, I'd say.
What do you think that role in the offense is going to entail this year?
For me, I think just kind of like Monaray was saying, just kind of stepping up with that leadership role. That's been the main focus I've been working on this whole spring, just being more vocal. Because I guess you would say I was a younger guy kind of last year, but now I'm in my junior year, I'm starting to feel more comfortable just being more vocal and really just helping out the younger guys and different things.
What have you seen from the quarterbacks and just kind of getting to connect with Sawyer this year?
Oh, they can both sling that thing. It's been awesome. I've been running with both Blake and Sawyer, and like there's really like, no like difference, to be honest. Like they're both just on the same page, and it's been awesome to see the competition for sure.
Is it good you're not like missing a beat basically when you go from quarterback to
Oh yeah. I think it's awesome to just basically just have both options, because God forbid if one goes down, you have the next one ready to go type deal. So it's awesome for sure.
Is there a go-to guy among y'all, or you kind of is the competition pretty thin, I guess?
What is this, receiver wise,
Yeah,
quarterback
yeah,
wise?
receiver.
I wouldn't say there's a go-to guy. We can all make plays. We've just really been like maturing. Like literally everyone has been making a play this spring. Like it's been awesome to see. You can throw anyone in there, and they'll go out in there and do their job for sure.
Have you noticed an attitude change or a vibe change from the end of last season into now this spring?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think just with Coach Aranda, he's just been more like kind of like hard on us, I guess you could say, and just being more assertive and not like, I guess, laid back, I guess you could say, and just really just kind of staying on us and just getting that extra from us and just getting us to like really push.
Josh, you've had an interesting road coming here as a walk-on. What's that been like? And just kind of talk about the success you were able to have last year after coming in that way.
I mean, it's been awesome. Like I just thank God for every single day, and then just always just put in extra work. That's all I really can do. And then when I just got the scholarship, I mean, it's just an awesome feeling, and I'm continuing to put that extra work in. Now, like I would say, instead of like doing extra like weightlifting stuff, I'm trying to kind of take care of my body more, get extra like rehab, kind of step up in that area too.
When did you get your scholarship?
It was last spring.
Last spring.
Yes, sir.
And the work, I mean, obviously doesn't stop when you get a scholarship.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
what do you think we'll see from this group that'll stand out to other people that maybe we didn't see last year?
That we can like really throw the ball this year for sure. I think with everyone making plays, you're just gonna see bombs on bombs on bombs all the way down the field. So I think it's gonna be real fun to watch.
How you now have, been here at Baylor a full year and stuff? I mean, are you more comfortable maybe than when you first got to Waco?
Yes, sir. I would say I'm like a lot more comfortable now because I feel like the Coach Baker coming in had a lot to do with it. Just like my confidence level, I feel like it's way up. So yeah, I always feel like it's a big change.
What have you seen just from y'all's group of receivers? I mean, what have you kind of been trying to work on the most as a group?
I think the most thing that we've been trying to work on is just confidence, because I feel like if you have confidence, you can do anything. And like when you're playing and you're like unconfident and stuff like that, that's when you drop balls. But if you're confident, like you see, did y'all see the plays out there? Well, yeah, they had a lot of confidence, and then they caught a lot of good balls. So that's what you can do when you got a lot of confidence.
Was the confidence rattled last season on this group?
I wouldn't say it was rattled, but I feel like as a team, we were content, and we thought that everything was going to be given to us when that's not at all how football works. So Coach Aranda this season, he's made it clear that we're not going for that, and it's going to be totally different this year. So
Josh mentioned that there might be some more bombs, more downfield shots. I mean, do you feel like that's something that you guys can bring to the table?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I feel like it's something that we're definitely going to bring to the table. Adding Keytron to our roster, and just like all the people that we already have, like the confidence level just went up. My confidence level went up. So I feel like we're going to be great, and we're going to take a lot of shots down the field.
Something Monaray said about Keytron is he's one of the best route runners he's ever seen. Is that something that you noticed too?
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's something I definitely noticed. And every practice I try to take something away from how he runs routes. He kind of reminds me of Ty a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty good guy.
What do you feel like you bring? What's your skills stuff? What's your skill set?
I feel like I bring a lot of everything to the table, but like more so, I feel like I take a lot of pride in blocking, because I feel like not a lot of wide receivers do block, but all of our wide receivers block, and that's what I love. That's what I take most pride in.
Yeah, I'm really old. We used to have to stick stuff right here.
Coach, how have you seen this receiving group progress, and you like what you're seeing from them?
Oh, I love what I'm seeing from them. I heard the guys say earlier, the biggest thing was confidence with these guys, and And I'm thankful that we're at a Christian school, and so I'm able to pray before every meeting, and I want to give God all the glory because that's what it is, you know. Yeah, they talk about confidence, but the big thing is just having faith and knowing who you are. So it's showing out there when those guys play, and the offense is changing, but changing in a great way.
So a player knocking you over today, is that like a good thing out of him, or are you a little hurt from that? I have to ask. These are the tough questions we have to ask.
Can we cut that one?
You did say you're
Yeah, yeah. I'm old, but the big thing with that is the guys are having fun. You know, it wasn't a drill where we were working on routes or catching the football. We were working on blocking, and you see guys laughing and they're taking shots at me, and so that just me giving credit to the room. You know, here it is. We have receivers, and these guys are having fun while they're blocking. So the great thing is these guys are falling in love with what they're doing, and so it shows in the way they're playing.
Josh said you guys, or people can expect bombs from this group, lots of bombs. Is that what you're thinking?
Is that the scouting report?
Yeah.
So you guys just got Josh in trouble because I keep telling Josh, so we want to be like Rocky when he went to Russia to fight, that we're working in the dark, and when we start the season, everybody's going to be surprised with the way the receivers are showing up. And by me saying that, there's no such thing as pressure. RG3 said it best, pressure make diamonds, and so that's really what we're trying to do around here.
One of the players talked about blocking. How big, I mean, a lot of times that's not a thing receivers love to do, but how big is that for this offense? The receivers have to block.
So that's a big part in my philosophy, and our philosophy. You know, I tell the guys all the time, toughness isn't going out and picking a fight with someone, you know. Toughness is what I'm doing is way more important than how I feel, you know. And so the fact that these guys are taking pride in blocking, that's them talking about how tough they are. Also, we take pride in being a strong receiver room as far as the brotherhood, you know. I made the guys, I didn't even make them really. So I told the guys, look, tomorrow I want each guy to get with someone and find out something about them that no one else knows and turn that in. I didn't even have to remind them. Like, I come in and all these papers on the desk and I'm like, I kind of forgot, you know? And so that just pushed the brotherhood even more. So, yeah, talking about it now, I can't wait for this season.
Were you watching Remember the Titans?
That's what
the
I
night
was
before? Did you watch Remember the Titans the night before?
No, so these guys like to ask a lot of questions before the meeting, and I don't know if it's to stall the meeting or what, but they ask a lot of questions about my playing days or whatever, and I tell them all the time, like, yes, I was on the national championship and the Super Bowl team, but that national championship team didn't have a bunch of talented guys when we won. Like, we were just the closest team in the country, and I'll debate with anyone until I'm blue in the face, you know? It shows. I mean, we won 41-14. So, and all it was is just how close we were. That was it, how close we were. And so when I explained that to them, you know, everyone on the team talk about how close the receivers are, and really that's all it is. You know, Keytron, Micah, we even have Landry in there now, and so it's like a brotherhood. Like, it's like those guys grew up together.
Monaray kind of had his injury bug last year, and now he's saying that he's done a lot of things to make his hamstring stronger, and he's feeling good. I guess just what are you seeing from him?
So the big thing with that, and he's gonna get upset with me saying it, but finally listening to Coach Baker, you know, you can't tell by my stomach, but I used to be a skinny guy, and I battled injuries, and it was because I didn't like to eat, or I didn't take care of my body. So what I tell Monaray is, you take care of your body will take care of you. And so I'm not going to elaborate on that, but he know what I mean when I tell him that. And so he's been taking care of his body, he's getting smoothies, getting in the cold tub, just doing everything he's supposed to. And he's gained, I want to say 10 pounds already. Probably can't tell, but he has gained 10 pounds.
Do you ever call on guys from your national championship team and talk to your guys or kind of back up what you're saying?
I have at other places, you know, and I'm not bashing guys at other places because I have a relationship with all the guys I coach, and I take pride in that. But the guys here, it's like when I say something, it's like they listen. And that's the weird thing. I always grab my phone or something like that. I'm like, you guys don't believe me? They're like, what are you talking about? We believe you. And I'm like, whoa, that's different. And so, again, I give God all the glory. And I tell those guys all the time in the meetings, like, I thank you guys because as coaches, you think players have to do stuff, and they really don't. Like, why do they have to listen? Because you're the coach? It doesn't work like that. Trust me. I've been on teams where it didn't work like that either, you know, so.
Is there a go-to receiver in the group, and does there need to be?
Yes, there's a go-to receiver. So the go-to receiver, his name is Hal, Monaray, Josh, Jordan, Armani. You want me to keep going?
Like it.
That's the go-to receiver.
Keyshawn. What have you seen from him, and how much did that help the room?
The biggest thing that I've seen from Keytron is Keytron has came in, asked a bunch of questions, and has not been a guy who feel like he know it all. You know, that's the big thing. A lot of times when people take transfers, guys come in, they feel like, well, I'm the transfer, so I'm supposed to be the guy. Keytron has not came in like that at all. I didn't even plan on putting Keytron with the first group, and we don't have a first group, but when we were doing like off-season workouts and stuff like that, and he come to me and he's like, Coach, I don't want to go with the first group. I'm like, what are you talking about, Keytron? He's like, well, I didn't like it when I was other places and they were bringing transfers and they would just throw us in front of us. And I'm like, Keytron, the great thing about that, God has given me the ability to always remember what it was like to be you guys' age, you know? Because the older you get, sometimes you forget. But God has blessed me with that gift where I don't. And so I remember what it was like to be like him. And so I didn't put him in the first group, and I brought him along, and he's just been a great, great addition to the room. He's been humble.
What have you seen from Blake and Sawyer? Kind of just almost going hand in hand is what it seems like is the consensus with the wide receivers.
The big thing I've seen with Blake, so me and Blake have a really, really close relationship, and it has nothing to do with him being the quarterback and me being the receiver coaches. When I first came here, I'll be honest, it was kind of tough for me, coming from an air raid, a spread, and here it is, this player come to me, he like, Coach, you gonna get it. And I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, I know, but from that on, I was like, man, this guy has a heart of gold. And so one thing I told Blake was, I went through a lot, and I see now God took me through that so I could relate to these guys. I'm like, Blake, you gotta understand, man, you're on a big stage. You gotta block all that out. And that's one thing Blake has done a great job of. Like, if a mistake happened, he's ignoring it, and then next play, he's looking like Blake again. And then with Sawyer, the big thing is his energy, his juice. You know, quarterback's not really like that, to be honest, you know. Not saying that they're the same guy, but it just reminds me, and it's funny, like, God is good. Chris Leak was number 12. Blake is kind of similar to Chris, and then here comes Sawyer, like Tebow. And it's like, who is this new guy with all this energy and stuff like that? But it worked out, so I hope that our season ended up the same way, to be honest.
Thanks, Coach.